Sideline. And a touchdown for South Alabama. There is the flag. But the ball was out, and the flag is back at about the 33 on the return.
Yeah, had a chop block at least, I know, on Chapman, the quarterback. I think one of those flags was for, I don't know what the other one was. I didn't get to see it. Can't imagine this touchdown is going to stand, but the fumble surely will.
It squirted away. The exchange was never there.
Well, it looked like they had run a play they've never run, at least in this football game, trying to get the ball to the fullback, and Chapman had to spin around, and the fullback was so close to him, he couldn't get the ball in quick enough.
Yeah, Bodden never had it, and all of a sudden it's on the ground going the other way.
Yeah, and it's not the job of the fullback to get the football. It's the job of the quarterback to get it into his belly, and the fullback should never even have to look and see that it's there, but you saw his head down like it didn't even get in the right spot. And haven't seen a handoff to a fullback all night, and ends up costing them dearly.
Sideline interference. South Alabama bench. 15-yard penalty will be on the ensuing kickoff.
The touchdown stands.
Well, I got that wrong. I thought they had knocked down Chapman at the knees there and got him for doing that.
And it finds its way to Devon Earl once again. This is a young man that returned 2 fumbles for touchdowns last year, and he's got one in the 5th game of the season tonight for the Jaguars. So unfortunately, Sir Calvin Wallace is down, needs some assistance, and we'll take a timeout as well. Everybody is pretty well stunned still here in Mobile, Alabama. Devon Earl, his 3rd touchdown off a fumble on a return over the last season and a half. And, Brian, I asked you while we were away, why wasn't Donnell Pumphrey the best player offensively for San Diego State in a sequence that big, 3rd and 2, down by 11? He wasn't on the field.
Well, you're clearly trying to get the first down. You don't want to kick the field goal from that far out. It was almost a 4-down territory situation, yet you're going to run a play you haven't run all night and really all year, handing it to a guy who hasn't touched the football, but yet your most dynamic player can't get you 2 yards in 2 plays. Come on, Joel. We know better than that.
Patterson for the point after. So points off mistakes. We talked about the special teams mistakes. Now one off the fumble and the long return of 80 yards. And the Jaguars are up by 18. It's a 21-point fourth-quarter blitz by the Jaguars of South Alabama. And we talked about the way injuries can impact the game. The regular long snapper hurt on the first punt of the game. So the backup snapper comes in. And on his first exchange, he didn't get any help from the holder. A little high, but the punter didn't bring it down.
No, he didn't. And, it's a redshirt freshman. This guy's young. He's never been in this type of environment. It's just, and leading to points, it's a very difficult thing. I know his parents are at home sitting watching, seeing their kid get to play for the first time, the excitement, and then all of a sudden the disappointment of the way that he's performed. But nonetheless, he will get stronger from this. He will grow from this. He'll build great character from this. He'll come back strong. And this will just be a blip in his career, and he'll learn from it.
It's a little chip shot, and it's going to be Penny bringing it back across the 45. Rashad Penny all the way inside the 46. So that's where the drive will start in an 18-point game. It's a 19-yard return. What's lost in it all is the special teams play, the lost yardage we talk about, the snap over the head set up that touchdown we just saw. That's 8 points basically, and I brought it up, the 8 points off the special teams. In a game that was really close up to that point before the fumble.
And every phase counts. You talk about playing complete games as an offense, first half, second half, red zone, fumbles. You talk about a complete game in all 3 areas of the game. It's just very hard to get going in the right direction sometimes.
Come back and a good grab by Chase Favreau. Diving back, young man out of Edison High School in Huntington Beach, his first catch of the night.
And now we're seeing him hurry up. It's kind of a hopeless cause here at this point, but They're going to try their best.
And it almost picked off. And it was the same guy going the other way. No, check that. It was the other defensive back on that play. And it looked like it was 7, but instead it was Jalen Thompson, a sophomore from Mobile. He thought he had a pick six, didn't he?
Yeah, those guys on defense, I give them a hard time because I always say there's a reason they're playing defense. But I know it's difficult when you see that ball coming to be able to pick it off the air, right? Just like they did, or he tried to anyway.
3rd and a couple. And it's thrown behind Eric Judge. So here we go. 4th and 2 with 3:46 to play. And we saw the dejection on the sideline from Donnell Pumphrey, in particular, the senior running back from Las Vegas. They haven't lost in a year. They've won 13 straight games. In fact, in 13 games and 780 total minutes, they only trailed for 19 minutes. So this is all new for a few of these guys, and that'll do it.
Well, and Rocky Long talked about how if you win that turnover battle, you usually win a football game. But if you lose it, you usually lose the football game. And it's very true here tonight. They don't ever fumble footballs or turn them over, and they've had a plethora of them tonight, and points resulting because of it, and found really new ways to be able to turn the football over.
Well, they were, over the previous 12 games, to your point, Brian, they were a plus 26 in turnover margin.
Yeah, he said they preach it every day, and every team preaches ball security every day, but to be able to pull it off, as we talked about in the numbers, of 13 of their last 17 where they only had 1 turnover, that's incredible. And then only 3 games out of 21 with 1 interception, that's amazing. You just don't see that happen very often, and it's basically just come unglued here tonight.
And don't forget, this is all for the Jaguars without the starting quarterback and without the starting tailback. Revel up the middle, just trying to burn some clock. Will take it to the 41. Gain of 3. So just want to run out the clock now. Get to 3-2 on the season. Jaguars last year finished at 5-7. Just 3-5 in Sun Belt Conference play. But this is huge for this program. And only its 8th year. A lot of people forget that South Alabama's not had a football program all that long. The baseball program has been strong for a long time. 3+ to play. Revel will be stacked up. So 3rd and long coming. Don't forget Monday Night Football. A matchup with the Giants and the Vikings in Minneapolis. 8:15 Eastern. It's on ESPN. But our coverage really starts at 6 o'clock. It's the Monday Night Countdown. Also streaming live on Watch ESPN. And the Vikings, of course, one of the really good stories early this season. After losing their starting quarterback and then picking up Sam Bradford in that trade. So the big back, Deontay Moore, comes in. On 3rd and about 7.
I can't imagine we'll see the ball in the air here.
So a punting situation. So San Diego State gets ready for conference play, and they get ready for the Mountain West. And you mentioned it when you look at the Mountain West. Had they San Diego State Aztecs, who use a timeout here, had they won this game, going to 4-0, it looked pretty good for them into conference play, didn't it?
Yeah, they had a 90% chance to win every game they played except their 2 road games against Nevada and Wyoming, where they dipped below that. It's a 2-game stretch late in the season where they dipped below that 90% average to be able to win. And so losing here tonight, obviously, for Pumphrey, we saw on the sideline, really kind of just took the wind out of their sails. Their chance to run at an unbeaten season, chance to be able to disrupt that whole bowl system and to be able to get their shot. And now getting clipped here at South Alabama, just a devastating blow to a team that's really been successful the last couple of years behind this young man Pumphrey, who's kind of led the way, really been their only threat offensively, been a one-sided offensive football team, but yet had success in doing it the old school way.
So the punt coming. .2:11 left in the 4th. And on the sideline, knocked out of bounds real quickly. Here's the wide receiver, Quest Truxton. So an 18-point game after the 40-yard punt. And now you want, as you see Truxton hobbled over, now you just want to get out of here healthy, everybody. So they put the pressure on Christian Chapman. But the turnovers and the breakdowns in special teams are true to the story in this game for the Aztecs of San Diego State. And the alert play of the Jaguars. It'll be Penny on the delay. And a good job of the first down across the 30.
And you just couldn't have predicted it, Joe. I mean, we had talked about how ball security for San Diego State is so good. You wouldn't expect turnovers, and certainly not to be able to predict a specialist getting hurt in the special teams unit and causing the difference in this football game, really.
Falls incomplete. So you look down the road, things are bright for San Diego State as they get ready for conference play. South Alabama. Now, they've got to play catch-up because everybody had 2 early Sun Belt games. They lost the game after they upset Mississippi State, an SEC team on the road, and shocked everybody in college football. Then they came home, and Georgia Southern shocked them.
Only netted those 9 points with 5 trips in the red zone, just weren't able to convert offensively.
It's another delay.
And really, in these last 3 football games, the game after that, their rush defense suffered against Louisiana Lafayette, and then last week, their special teams and the 4 turnovers that they had, and 1 interception for a touchdown. They really haven't been clicking. And this is really, you're getting to where they're catching their stride. They're playing a complete game in all 3 phases of the game.
It'll be a sack.
But who would have thought, as you said, all the injuries they had going into this game with Xavier Johnson, their starting running back, and Dallas Davis, their starting quarterback, when they came in here and told us that, I was really concerned. I was thinking this could be a long night. It could really, but who'd have thought it would have been a long night for San Diego State rather than the Jaguars, who turned the table. And really the performance of Cole Garvin, the young sophomore, really was kind of the key to this entire operation here tonight, and kind of got it going early with the way that he played and the way he managed that offense.
So one more punt. Nobody back for the Jaguars. Snap. And as it rolls towards the sideline of the 31, I know you had to be surprised by the news out of LSU and the dismissal of Les Miles.
I don't know that I was surprised. I was surprised last year when they didn't follow through with the firing after the Texas A&M game. That was the big surprise for me. I thought it was a long time coming. Just the same operation every year, every week, offensively, that never changed, no matter what coordinator came in.
Sideline interference on the South Alabama bench. 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
It was always the same, and it was the main element was Les Miles was holding back that offense, trying to play very conservatively, trying not to lose. And you can do that 90% of the time, but when you play in Alabama, when you play a more talented football team, you have to be able to have some inventiveness, some depth that your offense that can go to other than run the football all the time. And he never did that. He never progressed. And he's an offensive lineman. That's who he is. And they like running the football. They're not going to be balanced out that well. He just kind of went with the character that he is, and he stuck with it to the end very stubbornly, in my opinion. If he would have changed, he would have had a chance. But he just would not do it.
Well, this win means a lot for Joey Jones and the program of the Jaguars, doesn't it?
Without a doubt. We talked about that 8 or 9 win season. He wanted to get consistently year in and year out, and you have to be able to do that with solid play in all 3 phases of the game. And we've